Her cry tore through the canyon air. "Please, suck out the venom. It's swelling fast." The cowboy dropped to his knees, heart pounding, desperate to save her life. But when it was over, when the poison was drawn out and the danger passed, he looked into her eyes and froze in shock. If you love powerful Wild West stories filled with courage, redemption, and fate's cruel turns, hit like and subscribe, because this one will leave you breathless until the very last line. The midday sun burned across the Nevada desert, turning every rock into fire and every shadow into mercy. I'd been riding since dawn, chasing cattle that had strayed near the canyon pass when I heard it. The cry. It wasn't the kind of sound a person makes from fear, but from agony. I spurred my horse toward it, dust rising in the heat, the echoes bouncing off sandstone walls. And there she was, a woman alone, slumped against a rock, clutching her leg. Her horse lay a few feet away, still as death. She looked up, face pale, sweat glistening on her forehead. "Snake," she rasped. It bit me, below the knee. I slid off the saddle and ran to her, dropping beside the wound. The skin was already swelling, the veins darkening. "How long ago?" I demanded. 10 minutes, she whispered. I can feel it spreading. Her eyes met mine, wild with panic. "Please, suck out the venom, it's swelling fast!" I didn't hesitate. In these lands, hesitation meant death. I grabbed my knife, made a small cut near the bite, and drew out the poison the only way I knew how. She gasped, trembling, clutching the dirt, whispering prayers in a language I didn't know. Minutes passed like hours, but slowly, the color began returning to her face. When I finally stopped, I spat the venom away and pressed my hand against the wound to slow the bleeding. She was alive. Barely. I wrapped her leg in a strip from my shirt and poured what little whiskey I had over it. When I looked up, her eyes were on me, dark, alert, filled with something deeper than fear. "Thank you," she whispered, before her eyes fluttered closed. I lifted her in my arms and said quietly, "Don't thank me yet, miss. You're not out of the woods." By sundown, we reached my camp. I laid her by the fire, covering her with my coat, watching her chest rise and fall in shallow breaths. She was young, maybe 25, skin bronzed by the sun, clothes torn from travel. Her hair, raven black, was matted with dust, and around her neck hung a small carved pendant shaped like a hawk. It looked a patch. I poured water into a cup, pressing it to her lips as she stirred. "Where's your family?" I asked quietly. "Gone," she murmured, eyes still closed. "They took them, the soldiers." My chest tightened. "You're running," she nodded weakly. "Running from them, and from what they made me do." I didn't ask more. Some wounds weren't meant to be reopened. She drifted to sleep soon after, her breathing steadier now. As the fire crackled, I found myself studying the pendant around her neck again. It wasn't just jewelry. It was military-issue silver, crudely engraved with initials EM. I frowned. Why would a native woman carry a soldier's tag? When dawn came, I cooked beans and coffee, and when she woke, she smiled faintly, trying to sit up. "You should rest," I said. "You were close to dying. Wouldn't be the first time," she whispered. "Name's Mara." "Ali," I said, nodding. She smiled, but I saw the sadness behind it. In her eyes, there was a storm, one that told me she carried secrets heavier than the desert heat. Over the next days, Mara's strength returned slowly. She insisted on helping around the camp, even when her legs still ached. There was resilience in her, the kind forged from hardship. We rode together for supplies, and though the journey was quiet, the air between us grew heavier with unspoken words. One night, as the fire painted her face in golden shadow, she said, "Ali, you should have let me die." I froze, the spoon halfway to my mouth. "Don't talk like that. You don't understand," she whispered. "If they find me, if they see me alive, they'll kill you too." I leaned forward. "Ooh," she hesitated, then pulled out the pendant I'd seen before. "This belonged to the man I killed," she said softly. "A soldier." "Hey." Her voice broke, tears glistening in the firelight. "He hurt me. Hurt others." I ran after. I felt my stomach twist. "You killed in defense," I said. "That ain't murder." She looked at me, her expression hard but pained. "The law doesn't see it that way." I reached out, covering her trembling hand with mine. The law don't ride out here. Not in my canyon. She looked up, meeting my gaze, and in that moment, something shifted. The woman I'd rescued wasn't just a stranger anymore. She was a survivor, a soul clinging to life despite everything. And when she smiled through her tears, I knew that whatever it cost, I'd protect her. Even if the world called her outlaw, to me she was a reason to believe in mercy again. Morning broke quiet, too quiet. I woke to the sound of distant horses, soldiers. Mara's face turned white. They found me, she whispered. I grabbed my rifle, scanning the ridge. 5 riders closing fast. Go, I said. Hide in the rocks. No, she said firmly, grabbing my hand. You saved my life. I won't run again. I pulled her behind me as the soldiers dismounted, rifles raised. We're looking for a fugitive. Their sergeant barked. An Apache woman who murdered a Union officer. I stared him down. Ain't no fugitive here, just me. He looked past me and froze. His eyes landed on the pendant around her neck. He staggered back, face pale. Mara. He whispered, it's you. The recognition in his tone sent a chill through me. Who are you? I asked. The sergeant turned slowly toward me. Her husband, he said. My blood ran cold. I looked at Mara. Her eyes filled with shock and fury. He was supposed to be dead, she whispered. And I understood. The soldier she'd killed wasn't him. It was his brother. The truth hit like a storm. But before any of us could move, she raised my rifle, voice breaking. I'll never go back. And as the sun rose, the truth of mercy, love, and vengeance collided in that canyon forever. If this story gripped your heart, hit like and subscribe, because even in the Wild West, not all scars are seen, and not all heroes wear stars.